So guys, today we are here with the Overwatch 2 Invasion Story Missions PvE in Overwatch 2 video. Today I'm going to give you my overall breakdown of the PvE itself, go over the good, the bad, and then my final thoughts of the PvE experience as a whole. As always, if you're going to enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's just jump straight into it. So, first things first, how do you get access to the PvE? I'll tell you how. You need to buy one of the two bundles. First one being like £13 gives you some extra credits which will allow you to buy the battle pass, and then you have the super expensive version which is £35, gives you an extra 1000 credits, so a total of 2000 credits and 2 additional skins which probably should have just been a part of the battle pass, but that's neither here nor there. Once you've bought either of these bundles, you then get access to free, count them, 1, 2, 3 story missions within the game itself. You go over to missions, and then you go to Winston's little computer, and then you can see the 3 missions here. You've got Resistance on Rio, Liberation on Toronto, and Ironclad in Gothenburg. Quick breakdown of each of the missions. Resistance, you're in Rio, you meet Lucio, you go through the city killing robots, get on a spaceship, destroy the generator of the spaceship, blow it up, end of mission. Liberation, you're in Toronto, saving civilians and figuring out what is going on with the Omnics and why null sector's doing what they're doing. And then Ironclad is figuring out how to help Omnics in their current situation and stopping null sector, whilst also trying to stop a giant robot terrorizing the city. So the bad stuff, we'll go over that first to kind of end on more of a higher note. The bad is that it is the most basic PvE I've probably played. It's nothing different from the old PvE events that we got on Overwatch 1, so I'm struggling to find a reason for Overwatch 2 even existing, other than the fact that they wanted to make the game free to play and just put a load of microtransactions into the store instead of loot boxes. The missions themselves, apart from Resistance, aren't really all that different. They all have like PvP style of objectives put within them, which as a Destiny player I know what that is like. You've got defend the objective, scan the door to open it, defend people, the whole shebang of generic objectives. At least with Destiny you have a character that you can develop and change. With Overwatch, you're stuck to the heroes that you normally play inside of PvP. So a skill tree might have helped, might have made it a little bit more interesting. You can go in, play as a hero, and then leave, change them a bit, go back, see how it plays differently. With this, you don't have that. You play as the standard stock heroes. They have some changes, I think, in like ammo reserves, but there's nothing really different in terms of the heroes themselves. PvE in terms of difficulty, not much change there either. It's just higher health bars, they do more damage. You'll get 2 shot in the highest difficulty if you're not paying attention. That's about it. With a couple friends, it's quite fun and entertaining. The most fun I had was in Liberation when we made fun of Claire and Reggie. They were the 2 NPCs that we had to defend, and they were just kept on getting sucked by these giant ball-like machines. We just found that really funny because we're like mentally 5 years old. And Ironclad was probably the most basic. You just push a payload and there wasn't all that much going on. It was cute seeing Bastion and his bird, but that was about it. So the missions themselves, the story is really good. Going on to good stuff. Story in it is great. I love seeing the cutscenes and the characters interacting, although the cutscenes are at like 720p and don't look as good as, say, a animated short. It's basically an animated short, but the budget's cut in half. The story there, the emotion is all there. The voice actors doing great jobs with their characters, showing how each character is different and like how they're reacting to the current situation within each of the missions. You've got Reinhardt, who's like really old and stuck in his ways and is like, oh, these robots don't have emotion, and tries to rip a null sector controlling device off of an Omnic's face. You've got like Winston, who's trying to get the team back together, and you have people that are just like, no, Overwatch is like done for, what are you doing? And you've got the newbies who are all excited and wanting to help out the best they can. So the story itself is great, but I could have just gone and watched it all on YouTube and gotten the same experience at probably a higher quality of video. So the main reason for buying the PvE is to experience it yourself. And to be honest, there's not much there. The only replayability that is there is the ability to play different heroes within the missions, although saying that, you don't have access to all of the heroes within the missions. Within Resistance, I believe you only have like one healer, which is Lucio, 2 tanks, and then like 4 or 5 DPS heroes. Liberation had the most amount of heroes in it, which also wasn't that many. And then Ironclad had just Bastion, Tor, Brig, and Reinhardt. So a good thing that they could have added was that once you've completed a mission, you're then able to replay it with all of the heroes in the game. Yes, it wouldn't have made sense to have Tracer and Widowmaker teaming up against the Null Sector robots, but at least would have been something different and something that could have changed up how you play through the mission. Something they could add in the future, but really something that should have probably already been here at launch. My final thoughts are that if you enjoy Overwatch 2 and you want more of Overwatch 2, you probably have already bought the pack and you probably are really enjoying the story missions. If you enjoy earning different sprays and voice lines to be used in PvP, you've got that. You can go ahead and do that. You can go and flex that you've done all the missions on the hardest difficulty. You've got all the sprays, you've done all the mission challenges within all the missions. But if you're looking for a really in-depth PvE experience of Overwatch 2, you don't have that. I'm really hoping that they can add that. I'm really hoping that later on down the road we do end up getting the promised skill trees for each hero. I know that they said that they aren't doing that, but who knows, in the future they could potentially add it. I'm not expecting them to add like all the hero skill trees at once. They've shown that they can't add everything at once, considering the fact that we only have 3 missions currently in the game. But add like a couple skill trees here and there. It won't like save PvE and change it drastically, but it will at least help out a little bit. And yeah, that's basically it. So my overall final opinion is that it's okay. It's not the worst, but it isn't really all that great. One thing that is okay, they do give you the credits to go ahead and buy the battle pass and try out the new hero, who's actually really, really fun inside of the PvP. You can't play her in the PvE, which sucks, because I really enjoy playing her and wouldn't have minded of trying her out inside of PvE, but that's neither here nor there. If you enjoy Overwatch, you're probably going to buy it. If you don't enjoy Overwatch, there's no point in you buying it. And that's just how it is. That's it for my thoughts on the Overwatch 2 PvE situation. That's probably going to be my last video covering it, unless they add more stuff and change it, in which case I'll make more videos. That's it for today. If you guys have any thoughts on the PvE, be sure to leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll see you all in the next one.